Welcome everybody. Today we're going to have our guest lecture by Chemistry Gallery, and today we're going to be focusing on discussing how you can start up your art career and basically start promoting yourself, creating great art portfolio, and going all the way up to approaching galleries. So please, I would like to ask you to be respectful towards the guests and as well towards the lecture. If you have any other questions, you can ask us or you can ask directly the host of today's lecture, Peter Hayek. And yes, I hope you're going to enjoy it. Peter, I'm going to give my word to you. You can start.
Okay, perfect. So, hello everyone once again. I don't know from where you are connecting, but I am in the chemistry gallery in Prague in our back office, so that no one is disturbing me. And I prepared presentation and few informations about portfolio creation, about presentation at social media, and about how to approach galleries. Actually, my lecture was divided into two parts. So today I will be talking only about portfolio creation, and next time I will talk about presentation on social media and about how to approach a gallery, and I would like to provide you my personal experience from these activities. So these are the three topics that I was mentioning that I will be talking about today and in 1 week on Tuesday, 5th of April. This is short information about me. Actually, I'm a gallerist from the Chemistry Gallery that is based in Prague. I started the gallery in 2008. So this year we will be celebrating 14th year. Actually, I started the gallery as a gallery focusing at young emerging artists. And in first years, I was focusing at students of art universities, and later on, like after 4 or 5 years, I started to focus on fresh graduates, and now I'm trying to work mainly with the fresh graduates from the art universities. As I have the gallery for 14 years already, and I want to keep long-term relationships with artists with who I cooperate. Some of the artists are no longer emerging, and they are already, let's say, in their middle of their career. But I'm trying to put our program from artists with who we cooperate long-term, and I'm also and always trying to find new talents. So I'm still going to art schools, and I am trying to follow what the fresh graduates and students at art schools are doing, so that I'm able to offer them cooperation once they are finished at their art school. Actually, my gallery here in Prague is very close from Academy of Fine Arts, so it's a very convenient location. In those 14 years, I organized over 150 exhibitions here in Czech Republic, and I think more than 30 exhibitions abroad. So even though I am by background, I am not an art historian or something like this. I think I already gained sufficient experience in actually organizing exhibitions and showcasing young talents. In the chemistry gallery, I work as art director and curator, so that I am deciding about what we are exhibiting. I am deciding about with who we cooperate. And in case of some exhibitions, I'm working with external curators, so that I'm coming with the idea of the exhibition, and then I'm asking external curator to actually curate the show. I'm always like supervising actually the work of the curator, but I'm always leaving like the space for the curator to do what he needs to do with the artists. And in case of some exhibitions, I am the curator, so that I'm not only coming up with the proposal of what will be exhibited, but I'm also choosing with the artist actually what will be exhibited, and I am doing the installation of the exhibition in the gallery, whether it's here in the chemistry gallery or somewhere else out of the chemistry gallery. Actually, we are doing about 10 exhibitions here in the chemistry gallery in our main space. It means our exhibition lasts for like 1 month and something, which makes it like 10 shows per year. But we are also doing shows outside of this location, either at and these are either curated group shows in rented places, unused places in Prague or in other galleries. I'm also counting into it exhibitions that we are doing at art fairs, because it's even though it's only for 4 or 5 days, it's very similar to the organizing of an exhibition. And we are also doing exhibitions in other locations, that is chemistry gallery, which are usually locations of our partners who are paying us to do exhibition in their premises. So actually 20 shows per year, it's as you can imagine, quite a lot, and we are always in a constant preparation of one exhibition that goes into another. And apart from this, also, you know, organizing the installation of the previous exhibition. So it's a lot of work to do, and I'm just mentioning this big because I want you to understand actually the time constraints of gallery people and gallery representatives, which is something what is very important when you are thinking about how to approach galleries and how to talk to them, what to show them, and how to present yourself. So maybe one last thing that I will say in connection with me and with the chemistry gallery is that my ambition is to show Czech artists abroad, and one of the ways how I think this could be done is going to the art fairs. So since 2016, we are going regularly every year, at least once or 2 times, even 3 times. 2 years we were 3 times at an art fair. So we are regularly going to art fairs, international art fairs, to Basel, New York, Miami, or to art fairs that are here in the Central Eastern Europe, for instance, in Budapest or here in Prague. And my ambition is to showcase Czech artists, mostly Czech artists, on an international level, which is not an easy task to do, and it is one separate lecture about how this could be done and what can be done in this respect, and so far and so on. So, but actually today we should be talking about portfolio creation. So I have like 4 slides on this. So let's go through them. For illustration, I used photos from my gallery here at Letna. So you can see various installation photos of installation in my gallery, and all these exhibitions actually took place during last 12 months. So it's it's the latest look of how my gallery and my exhibitions here look like. So as for the portfolio creation, it's important to understand that actually it's something like an artist biography. First of all, it's important to state in your portfolio everything about your education, so that actually where did you study, or in which studio you studied. You can even mention secondary school if it's as a school of artistic secondary school. I'm always interested about the history of the person who is sending me portfolio. So I think what is very helpful to mention, for instance, professors that whose studios you were attending. If you have not studied, then I think it's very helpful to mention how long you've been involved in art. If you want or not, if you are more talented or less, it's an information that is really helpful for a knowledgeable person to understand how much passion and devotion you are putting into it, and also it influences what the gallery person can expect from you. So that state everything about your education, including which studios you were attending, or if you have not studied, state how long you've been involved in art. You also have to understand that actually artistic portfolio is your best possible presentation. No one else can present you as you can. Or again, depends on whether you are a presentation type or not. But I think it's important, even though you are not a presentation type, to actually do your portfolio as best as possible, and consequently be able to present yourself in the best possible light. And if you are not a presentation person, I think very well done portfolio can help you to present your work in an easier way than it would be without a portfolio. Of course, I'm receiving like, I think I'm receiving like 100 portfolios during a year. So I'm really going through a lot of portfolios, and I can tell you that those portfolios that are made in a creative and visually appealing way just attracts my attention more than those who seem to be done very quickly. So do spend some time with your portfolio, and do invest your time and creativity into it, so that that the outcome is visually appealing. But at the same time, and it's, I think, clear, you have to focus primarily on the works that are presented and not on the creative elements of the portfolio itself. It's clear that if your work is very good and your portfolio is not very good, you will have bigger and better chances than when it's the other way around. So even though it's important to spend some time with the portfolio in order to make it visually appealing, don't spend too much time on it, and because it's better to spend time and focusing primarily on works that you are presenting, and only then good works put into a visually appealing portfolio. And also, what is important is that when you are putting works into your portfolio, you have to make a choice. You know, I saw portfolios when there was like 100 paintings, and it's just too much. I think maximum possible number of works that you can show is something between 10 to 20. And you have to understand that you will get a limited amount of time and attention when a gallery person is going through your portfolio. That's why it's important to make your own choice and include only those works that you think are the best. You can even ask for an advice, someone else, if you are not able to make a choice yourself. But the one who's doing the choice in the last instance should be you for sure. Again, if I will tell my personal example, I'm receiving, I would my guess, of course I didn't count it. My guess is that I receive like 100 portfolios per year. I managed to take a look only at 1/4 of it, which is 25, and those 25, when I look at them, I give them like 1, maybe 2 minutes. So you have to understand that actually the portfolio should be creatively appealing. You should make a choice with your best works, and this is something with what you could you could contact galleries and present yourself. If it's something what is more bulky or like more works, it just doesn't work, and I would not recommend to put more than 10 or 20 works into your portfolio, the best works you have. What I would also recommend, because I know that I'm looking at it when I'm going through the portfolios, is that you, if you have some previous exhibitions, it makes sense to include photos from the exhibition installations, because the way how your exhibitions are installed, the place where the exhibition is taking place are both important information that actually are sending further information to the gallery people. So if you have good photos from exhibition installations, do include them in your portfolio. Also, even though I was mentioning that I have very limited time to, when I receive portfolio, to go through it, when you are doing the portfolio, you should be focusing on details, because the details are also something what actually a person who sees a lot of portfolios can spot very quickly, that actually the details are not correct. So the details can be hidden, for instance, in the way how the artworks are described. So always put the correct name, medium, format, date of execution, because when I see portfolios when there is sometimes only the name of the work, and sometimes name of the work and the format, and sometimes name of the work and the date, it just shows that the person who was preparing it didn't spend enough time with preparation of the portfolio. Because actually what I'm trying to say is that clean portfolio shows that you really care about your work, and I can tell you that actually you are sending a lot of information when sending out a portfolio. It's not only in the way how the portfolio look like, but it's also in the way how the artist is able to send portfolio. I'm sometimes very surprised when I receive emails from people that I don't know. They are sending me their portfolio, and they are sending me email with one sentence saying, "Hello, when can I exhibit in your gallery? Attached is my portfolio. Please let me know." Something like this. I really received emails with portfolios like this, and actually when I receive something like this, I usually don't even look into the attachment, and I have to at the same time say that when I looked into the attachment, it usually was mirroring the way how the person was communicating in an email. So just bear this in mind, that you are really, that the clean, nice portfolio with an email that you are sending it with really shows how you care about your work and what you think about it. Try to group the work according to a logical procedure. It links with the fact that the portfolio should be somehow visually appealing, so that and with what I also mentioned, that you should include your best works. So you should include your best works and group them in some kind of logical procedure, whether it is a timeline or it's about topics, or it's about series, or whatever. Of course, your work should be organized when presented to other people, so don't forget about it. Another important thing that also sends a lot of information to gallery people is quality of your photos that you are using. If I should say it bluntly, you don't want to look into the portfolio that where you can see that there are shitty photos, or maybe photos that are not very good. It again shows a strong statement about actually what the person who is sending the portfolio thinks about what he or she is doing. So the quality of photos is of course very important, and if you don't have a good photos made by your own, or or you are not a photographer with a camera, just invest in a photographer to make good photos. You can even pay with your art if you want. If you don't want to pay, I believe that you will be able to find people with who you will be able to agree on a deal, that if they will make photos of your artworks, you will give them your painting, and I think it's an investment that pays off. Another important note that is at the same time quite clear is that when you are applying somewhere where portfolio requirements are set, just meet them. Again, I could see it seems like a clear thing, but I could see for instance competitions. I could see artistic competitions where artists were sending proposals that were not meeting the criteria. Usually it is the thing is solved in the way that actually those who are assessing the portfolios are excluding these portfolios that are not meeting the requirements that are set. So it's just better strategy to meet the requirements that are set for some cases for submission of portfolios. Well, another thing that I would recommend in connection with portfolio is that you should have it available digitally, either in the way of a web page or on the online storage. It shows the professionalism of the person, and it's also very handy that when you are somewhere on a party or at the gallery opening or at the exhibition, wherever, at the concert, you can easily show your portfolio, you can send it easily, and it makes your life much more easier, because when you are able to follow up quickly when you were talking to someone else about your art who is interested about it, so that you feel that it makes sense to send the portfolio, the more quickly you do it, the more probable it is that actually the person will still be interested about what you were talking before. But at the same time, you should also have your printed versions of the portfolio for face-to-face meetings. It's when you, because in further slides I will be talking about that how important is a personal relationship. So in order to start the personal relationship, the best way how to do is so it's just better to have for personal meetings. It's good to have printed version of the portfolio, so that you can make a good impression, good first impression. Someone was saying that you will never get a second chance to do a first impression. So if you want to do a good first impression, have a printed version of your portfolio when ready, when you go to meet personally someone from the gallery. As I mentioned at the beginning, uh, the goal of the portfolio is to present your abilities, skills, artworks, and specialization. Focus on this and make everything possible out of it, so that these your abilities are very well documented and shown. Um, Another thing that I would recommend is that you should write short text about yourself and include it into the portfolio. It can be really a small paragraph, something like this, but it really makes sense to include something like this, because you will influence the person who is watching the portfolio by this statement, short text. If you, I think it worth to make a homework and write this text by yourself. If you feel like that you are not able to do it, ask someone else to write something about you, and then spend time with this person explaining him or her about what you are doing, why you are doing it, and what is the outcome. And I think these kind of discussions will also kind of help you to realize what you are really doing and how you should proceed, what you should do in what way. And so I think it's really helpful to try to write something about yourself, or ask someone to write something about yourself and your work. And another recommendation is that you should constantly develop the portfolio. You should not make, of course, it's kind of embarrassing if you are sending portfolio that is 1 year old, and also, you know, your portfolio should be your working tool, which should help you how you are developing, which should help you with your development in art, which should help you understand better actually where you are going, what you are doing. So constant development of the portfolio shows that you are still up to date, and it also helps you back with actually your own perception of your work. So do constantly develop and work on it, and anytime when you do something new, add it there, and when you have new exhibition, of course, put it there, put their photos, take out the old ones and work on it.
A quick
I think
heads
these are
up, we have around 9 minutes left. So just,
yeah, this is the last slide. So and actually these are my kind of personal recommendations to sum up this first part of the lecture. And actually, first recommendation is to choose an intermediary or personal contact rather than an email. You know, I already mentioned that I'm receiving like 100 portfolios per year, and I'm able to look at only 25 of them, 25%, and then I can go through them very quickly, and I think I respond to like 5 people out of this 100 people, something like this. So So and on the opposite, you know, anytime when I was meeting a good artist that I haven't known yet, the artist was usually recommended to me by someone else. So use this as a strategy how to present yourself. Try to find an intermediary who will make the introduction to the gallery person, or just choose a personal contact with the gallery person. You can anytime go to the opening of the gallery, if of course if it's in the country where you are living, or even if you are abroad. It's always better to follow up after a personal contact rather than just following up after and sending email. So this would be my recommendation, to find an intermediary, or to try to make a personal contact with the gallery person. But even though I'm saying that actually this kind of introduction should be made for you as an artist, you still need a portfolio. It doesn't mean that you don't need it because I'm saying that the personal touch is better, because you need a portfolio as a follow-up after a personal meeting, or you need it for an intermediary with who you ask to give you an introduction. So you need this for the intermediary, or if you decide to choose the email way, you still need the portfolio to have. That should be done in the way as we are talking about it now. Think about what you are showing and how and to whom. I was mentioning it during what I was talking about. It's important what you are selecting, the way how you are presenting it, and also you need to be knowledgeable about with who you are talking. If you are talking with the gallery owner, it should be a different discussion than when you are talking to the assistant in the gallery. With the assistant, you can be more detailed. With the gallery owner, you have to be very quick, because I'm meeting a lot of artists during the openings, for instance. But I meet so many people during the opening that actually it's impossible to remember everybody, and you just have to take it into account when thinking about how to present yourself when talking to different people in the gallery hierarchy. And I think I mentioned it already in case of the previous slide. Constantly develop the portfolio, keep the portfolio up to date. It's important to show your latest work and show that you are up to date with your portfolio and with what you are showing to other people. So that's first part of my presentation. Victoria, do you want to say something?
Yeah, thank you so much, Peter, for sharing with us all this important information. I know that some of the artists who are participating today were very much interested in this topic. So please, if you have any questions, put it in the chat. And I have personally one question about art fairs. In the meantime, if no one, in the meantime, someone will put their question. So I actually heard about this big controversy about art fairs, that they are highly unsustainable and that they're as well kind of losing their value based on the fact that there are so many of these art fairs, different art fairs. So what do you personally feel? Like what do you think about this question, or like this
about art fairs in general?
yeah.
Well, when I started with the gallery, I thought that going to art fairs is a suicide, that it's just too expensive, and so you can go two or three times to the art fair and it can break your neck, so that it doesn't make sense to go to the art fairs. But then I realized that what I want to do is I want to present Czech artists abroad. So actually art fairs were one of the options that I could choose, and I think it's quite a good option because the other option that you have is to do exhibition on your own, and it's very complicated to do exhibition in the location that you don't know. You don't know people who live there who you should invite, and art fairs have all these infrastructure already in place. I think so I think it's good decision to go to art fairs. The other thing is that, again, as with everything else, you have to be careful about which art fair you will select. So make a research and select a good art fair. And also we're just now preparing application for a grant. If it's possible in your country, try to use a public money for attending at an art fair, and it decreases the risk of going to the art fair. So that's what I would recommend.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, we have a minute left. Can you give us a quick heads up? What are you going to talk about next week?
Well, next week I will be talking about the presentation on social media and about my recommendations, how I would recommend to address gallery people. So I think both these topics are very practically oriented lectures that actually every artist needs when is trying to start an art career.
Those are really amazing topics. Well, guys, I would love to say in the end that these seminars were sponsored by Visegrad Fund. Petr Hayek is from Chemistry Gallery in Prague. We're Victory Art, and we're going to participate on this as well with one Polish gallery, GJW Gallery, and one gallery from Hungary, Arikupsus Gallery. And we're looking forward to see you next week, 5th of April at 7 p.m. again with Petr Hayek from Chemistry Gallery. Have a great day.
Have a nice evening. Bye.